Yes, we welcome back to another video on the Big Steph channel, and we're here with KP, massive fan of the channel, and we're here to preview the North London Derby, probably the biggest North London Derby in nearly 20 years. Some have been saying, and Arsenal is a must-win for Arsenal. No ifs, ands, or buts, or maybes. So firstly, KP, tell everyone about yourself.
Hey man, big Arsenal fan from London. Probably the biggest Arsenal fan. I'm joking, they're all big Arsenal fans, but um, big game, man. Definitely the biggest North London derby in 20 years. So
Yeah.
pressure's on, obviously, especially because we're going for the league title. But I'm confident, man. Confident.
So firstly, KP, going into the game, I always like to talk on like how you're feeling going into the game. You said you're confident. You're talking about going into this game. Arsenal coming into the game off the back of a massive London derby as well. 5-0 victory over Chelsea. Tell the people that don't know your channel, tell them how you felt about that victory, first of all, the lineup, and how you feel going into this game off the back of that win.
Um, See, I have my channels KP AFC or Cape AFC. You can find me there. But yeah, going into the Chelsea game, obviously Chelsea, man. So it's like they're crap.
Always want to win
But
now.
but obviously similar to you, we wanted to see that lineup of Partey, Odegaard, Rice. We wanted to see us play a bit more vertical, to see the effect of the midfield being complete, and obviously we got that, and we got that in full flow. Game we should have scored. Like I watched this with my sister, so I was like, we're talking about this after. I was like 5-0 flat at Chelsea. Like it,
Honestly,
like towards the end of the game, I was kind of like, I
make
was
it
like,
7, make it 8
yeah,
nil.
I wasn't satisfied with the win, but I'm like, it's 5-0, so I had to kind of let a couple hours go by. I was like, okay, shit, we just won 5-0 because it was like, yeah, but I feel like we're confident, especially after that week that we had with the Villa loss, the Bayern Champions League crush out. It's nice to see the boys come back with 2 clean sheets, a couple goals, and yeah, man.
And it's massive, especially chasing this big goal of the Premier League title. Now, for me, why I think Arsenal could possibly win this Premier League title is based on their defense. Arsenal, if we pick up a clean sheet in this game, it will be our 6th straight clean sheet, not only breaking the record, but that would possibly give David Raya
Now it'll be our 7th, you know.
be our 7th. Oh yeah, our
Yeah,
7th. It would be our
yeah,
7th, and it would give David Raya the flat out, and it will make him the Golden Glove winner.
yeah.
How have you felt about David Raya? Has David Raya fully turned you in terms of giving you confidence into that back line?
Do you know what it is? Obviously, like there's levels. Keepers like Alisson, Neuer, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
Ter Stegen, the best of the best. Obviously, he's not there yet, but they were once an unknown keeper.
Mm-hmm.
They want once the best in the world,
Right.
and I feel like coming to a club where Ramsdale was a fan favorite. He's an English keeper as well, so it's gonna be hard to come and displace him, and everyone just be like, especially when he wasn't like known to be better than Ramsdale. But I feel like he's come back, and the main thing about Raya is he's brought this like calmness to the defense, to
I
the
agree.
team. Like when we play out the back, I don't feel uneasy when he takes his time on the ball. I don't feel uneasy when we get when the balls in the box getting crossed in the box, or players are shooting. I don't feel like, oh, he's gonna fumble it, he's gonna spill it, or he catches balls with authority. Pause.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Oh,
so it's like, yeah, like I like the guy, man, and I feel like I always say this about to people. That's why I always laugh when people are on Kai Havertz. I'm like, signings never, or you never get the best of a signing in their first season, or you never get to see the true nature of a signing. Because sometimes someone could come in and hit the ground running
mm-hmm.
first season. That doesn't mean that's how they're gonna continue doing it. And sometimes guys can come in and be a bit, timid, but I feel like he's grown into his game. Like now, undoubtedly, we don't ever talk about Ramsdale or we need to change the keeper. I don't really see people saying. I see some fans talking about we need another keeper, and maybe, but Raya hasn't done nothing to me that I'm like, oh, no, we need to replace him or don't make this loan permanent. I want to keep him. I like him.
Me,
How
me
about you?
too. And I think what the game for me that really sold me on it was pretty early in the season. This Tottenham game in the reverse fixture, which is why I brought up David Raya, because David Raya throughout the season, I feel like a lot of his saves go unnoticed. Not that they're world class saves, but I think they come at crucial moments. Moments that could change the tie in our favour. And we've seen sometimes Arsenal play better once they take the lead and get that early goal and assert their dominance on teams. And I think defence is going to be a massive key in this game. But I just want to touch on the lineup. You talked about you wanted to see the Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, and Declan Rice lineup. And I thought that midfield trio works brilliantly. You talked about playing vertically. Would you make any substitutions or any changes for this team going forward into this Tottenham North London derby?
So like, I made a quick preview on my channel. I was like, I wouldn't. I don't think Mikel's gonna change. I think we were talking about this earlier. I don't think he's gonna change anything. But I was like, with Tottenham playing like the highest line, higher than any zoo that you can spark in the air, like type line,
Mm-hmm.
like you you need a player that's gonna run in behind. You need a player that's gonna cause us to utilize the space they're gonna give us. And obviously, if you look at our squad, we don't really have any, pace merchants or blitz merchants apart from one player, Martinelli. And obviously, in any other world, we wouldn't even be having this conversation because if Martinelli was in good form or he was playing all these games,
We will
we
definitely
start.
start. No questions
But
asked.
obviously, he hasn't been in good form. He hasn't been playing. He's been up and down. And Trossard, the guy that's in front of him, has been in great form, scoring important goals, timely goals. Because it's not just about his scoring. He's scoring the first goal in a lot of our games. The
Mm-hmm.
goal that, obviously, yeah, maybe apart from Brighton, but in Porto, the
Even the Bayern game, even though he didn't score first, massive goal to keep us at
massive
in the
goal.
game.
You see the Wolves game, that first goal, that crazy goal, the game against Chelsea. He's always scoring important goals, and it's like if a chance does fall down to him, I trust him in this form to score. But given the fact that I know Spurs are going to play that high line, given the fact that I feel like the way to beat them, in my opinion, is obviously by playing football, but also taking what they give you. So if they give you a high line, very high line,
Well,
play that ball in behind. And if there's anyone that can time his run, have the acceleration, the pace to get away from the defenders to get 1v1 of the keeper. And yes, he did have a chance like that against Chelsea at the end of the game that he missed. But that was similar to the chances he got against Palace beginning of the year that he slotted away
slotted.
easily.
I agree.
So give him more of those reps. I think he scores. And I feel like it's hard. I don't really know. Like I'm waffling right now because it's like I
It's
don't
a
really
tricky decision.
mind who plays,
Tricky
but
decision.
it's like crazy. What would you do? Are we making any changes?
Honestly, we're gonna go through the what our full lineup. What our full lineup would be after this. But honestly, I think if I would make a change, it would
Let me ask you a
possibly.
question. Let me ask you a question. If Urian Timber is 100% fit, like if like obviously it's a game he hasn't played it all season. It's not like there's no reason if Tomiyasu's fit for us to throw him in. But if Mikel comes out today or you hear some news, he's 100% fit and he's in the squad. Would you start him?
Yes. 1,000%. 1,000%. I think that the initial preseason and initial start of the season when we seen Yuri and Timber and what we seen him be able to do, especially against Man City, we're saying like, rah, this guy is different, brother. This guy is different.
He is quality, man.
And I think it's a credit to Mikel Arteta and a lot of his staff and these players that they've
I
gotten
do.
so far with Partey missing, with Timber missing, because I think these are crucial elements that were gonna take us to the next level. We had to figure out that whole left hand side. We had to depend heavily on the right hand side, and we still managed to get to a quarterfinal of the Champions League and pushing for a league title in 4 games to go. So first of all, credit to Arteta. But we can run through the lineup. And what I would say, what I would answer your question, I think we do need to be very aware of the high line. But credit to Kai Havertz because even against Chelsea, when Chelsea tried to play that high line and come and play us, Martin Odegaard played that brilliant
That
ball to find Havertz.
and,
Havertz
and I
put
feel
him
like a lot of that pass from Odegaard, my goodness me,
in.
that pass was crazy. But I feel like a lot of people are not like talking about the run from Havertz. Like that run,
I agree.
like the timing of it, the knowledge of doing it, like because he's got to take both. And I feel like his movement is underrated. I think he's elite at his movement and ability to find
I
space
agree.
or make runs. But yeah, okay, if Timber's not fit, okay,
If
we're getting our lineup anyway, so I guess we'll see.
In fact, let's run through the lineup. So, first of all, I think the first four positions, no need to have conversation. I think Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
And then we're talking about probably left back Timber. We've seen Timber come back, score that banger in the under 21s. Tomiyasu, when he has played, has probably been our best left back. Kivior has had a good spell. Respect to Kivior, but
Yeah.
is he that guy for us long term? Probably not. Left back,
Zinchenko.
I'm not even considering Zinchenko. Not to diss him, not to diss him. Like, I have valid reason. I just think it's too much of a liability when Spurs play with so much pace on the wings, and we've seen Zinchenko have massive defensive
But
efficiencies
but
for us.
remember him last year in that Spurs game away when he absolutely bossed it in terms of just playing those cutting passes in between the
Nah,
lines.
true, but
Obviously, don't get me wrong. This season he hasn't been at that level like last season, so I don't want him to start. But
yeah,
like for example, if Mikel did start him, which will be a big surprise,
I'd be
I wouldn't
surprised.
I wouldn't be angry at it.
Mm.
Like
I,
if
I
you
wouldn't I wouldn't be angry at it because I think as long as you have when we talk about the midfield, if you have a Partey in there, I feel like it could allow Zinchenko that bit more freedom, especially Declan Rice covering that side.
yeah.
But I don't think you need that much. I think Tomiyasu already inverts inside and has a little bit of ability on the ball. People don't rate so much.
Yeah, you're
People
right.
I think people that has been going under the radar, Tomiyasu's ability to invert, because since coming back in the squad against Bayern and since that game he's been inverting a lot more. So
Yeah.
I just say
Tomiyasu?
I think yeah, I say Tomiyasu because Zinchenko for me gives up too much defensively than he provides going forward,
Yeah.
especially this
And
season.
in a game where we need to win, we shouldn't be giving anyway cheap goals.
Not
You're right,
at
man.
all.
I'm thinking
At
too
all.
much about the benefits more than the cons. Like, nah,
Yeah,
nah.
at the end of the day, I think Arsenal are the better squad. I think we're the better team, and I think we come there with player football, we'll get the win. But left back, who'd you go for?
I think Tomiyasu, man. I feel like we saw that game. Obviously, Chelsea, even though obviously Madueke got the better of him a couple of times in that first half, I feel like for the most part, if there's any defender 1v1 that I trust in that team, even more than even probably Saliba, it's Tomiyasu. And yeah, as you're saying, on the ball, he's good. He starts to invert. He's good at football. He's good at driving. He uses both feet as well. Yeah, I'm fine. Tomiyasu left back for me, personally.
And the midfield three, I'd go unquestionably Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice.
Yep.
Yeah, so you
You.
agree with that? What do you think that midfield brings for us? Because on this channel, I've been talking about the composure Partey brings and allowing Declan Rice to drive forward with the ball, allow Odegaard to create a little bit more. What do you like about so much about that midfield specifically?
I think Partey's ability to play and want to play and know where he's going to pass before he gets the ball, or at least as soon as he receives the ball, how he angles his bodies to allow him to make certain passes quickly, um, and his ability to find space. Like I chose to watch him because I'm like, Jorginho's a good ball player as well. Like, I think a lot of people disrespect Jorginho, but the main difference is that Jorginho can get marked out of the game, so he won't be allowed. He won't allow himself to get on the ball. Partey will do a couple movements left and right, and then find space, and then now he's always available, and he always wants the ball, even if someone's pressing him,
Mm-hmm.
and that allows like players to recycle and use him, like because they know that okay, if I give it to him, he's not going to lose it, and he's not going to not want it, and
Mm-hmm.
that allows players like Odegaard to get into areas that maybe when Partey's not playing, he doesn't get into because he doesn't receive the ball. And I feel like there's a balance of because Partey and Rice are both good off the ball with their dual winning, but they're both good on the ball with their ball playing ability. But it allows Rice to kind of drive out the pitch more, and you've seen how he's benefited in the last couple of games with his runs, going forward, and him carrying the ball opens up space as well. And Odegaard has just been flourishing because I feel like there's an understanding. Never underestimate players that have chemistry together, that have played for years together. That's why, like, I don't say Zinchenko playing, but it's like if Zinchenko was to play, but Partey's also playing, I know that them two understand each other's game, so you'll see probably a better Zinchenko, the same way you're seeing a better Odegaard and a better Ben White and a better, better Rice. Like it's complete because we're not like Rice doesn't have to compensate for Jorginho's lack of athleticism to come back
Yeah.
more, so he can stay a bit more high, and Odegaard doesn't have to always come back to collect the ball and build up. So it's just perfectly balanced. It's
And
perfectly
I feel
balanced.
like also too it opens up a lot more for us because I thought what we missed in that Bayern game and especially going through that week against Villa, I feel we missed those dynamic runs. We needed more players running in behind, like we talked about, especially when teams try to play that high line like Villa did.
Yeah,
We didn't have anyone dynamic enough to catch them up with that pace. And I feel
yeah,
like with Thomas Partey back in the team, Thomas Partey also has that range of passing to play the ball diagonally,
yeah.
get players on the ball, get the wingers on the ball early, allow them to tackle space while they have the availability to do that. So I think that midfield is probably going to be probably our best midfield three we can roll out.
100%.
Like this. Probably our best midfield three. And the midfield three, everyone, I think, majority of Arsenal fans wanted to see since literally game week one.
Like, how can we not see this midfield three since the Community Shield? Like, because remember, like in the first couple of games, Partey was doing a like right back inverted kind of thing.
Oh my,
So
I don't know. That don't get me started on that one.
no, to be fair, we're probably on different sides to this because obviously I like all that
Probably.
tactical stuff. So for me, I understood why he's doing it. It just didn't work
I
at the time.
understood it, but the game for me that I would never that burned into my head a lot about certain tactical changes was Forest at the back end of last season. After the title, after City got back on top, and it looked
Yeah,
like
but by that time, Arteta knew the title was done, man.
he
So
was just using he was just
yeah,
trying
so
stuff
I
at the
feel like
door.
he was because I always say that like you can practice certain tactical changes in the training ground,
Mm.
but if you never use it in a
Use it in the
game,
match, yeah.
you'll never know whether it can work, and the players will never know how to use it in a scenario where they've used it before. If they've now used it, you have that on film. You have the players having the repetitions of it. So if in a game, for example, against United, for example, you need to go to a party right back, but because whatever the situation, obviously it's not unlikely. But let's just say,
Mm.
for instance, or Ben White gets injured, Tomiyasu gets injured, and you have to use him there. At least you have the repetitions. Players know what they're gonna do. But That's not about that. We're not talking about that right
Yeah,
now.
we're not
But
talking about that, but
it was
that is a very good point though that
the
you made.
midfield three is the one we want to see. Like it's perfect, man. And I feel like against this Spurs team, especially they haven't played in what two
Two
weeks
weeks,
or
yep,
so.
2 weeks.
So with us having those reps, feeling warm, feeling good, and having our strongest midfield, I feel like the passes and the ability to keep the ball is going to be way better, or at least at all time high. So it just benefits us. That front three though,
Yeah, I was about to say, touching on that front three for me, I think the right wing already started. No need to talk about it because Saka off the right. Striker and left wing is always a tricky position, especially in this Arsenal team. You have options like Jesus, you have Havertz, you have Trossard, Martinelli, Eddie Nketiah, just throwing that name out there. He's still in the squad. Fabio Vieira, just throwing that name out there. He's still in the squad.
I love Fabio Vieira, man. That's my guy.
So talk to me how you line up. I know you already mentioned Martinelli for that pace.
Obviously, Saka on the right. Havertz has to keep his place. Jesus though in this kind of game, this is his type of game, 1v1 against rough defenders that. But it's like so I think I was watching someone else talk about it. It's like I like Havertz's efficiency. Like he's just there's like okay, don't get me wrong. I love watching Jesus play. He brings a certain level of magic and enjoyment that you see against Bayern. We needed that piece of
Mhm.
magic. But it's like when Havertz is just efficient, makes runs in behind, gets into good spaces, get goal scoring opportunities, wins his headers, wins his draws. It's like he's just simple. And in a game where I just want business and I
That's the
just
three
want business.
points.
And yeah, he's come off scoring 2 goals against his old team. I think that's done him the world of confidence. Like
Definitely.
that full circle moment where you face the team that didn't want you, their fans have cussed you, all this stuff. There, you waste of money, this, that, and you've played on them. You scored 2 goals, could have scored more, and you're with a team that's way better than that team going for a title. I think now he could end the season in a little purple patch where he could get goals, like because he's confident. Like, I'll play
Yeah,
Havertz,
I
man,
agree.
and on the left.
Oh, what are you gonna do now? Let's see. Let's see if you've made your mind up. Let's see if you made your mind up.
I'm going for Martinelli, man. I
I
think I think I apologize, Leandro. Like, I apologize. I want to start you. If I could start 12, I'll start you. But if so, if Saka had Martinelli's pace, then I wouldn't be saying this. But it's like because sometimes Havertz might drop in for the false line stuff. I need a player that's gonna run in behind, and that player has to be Martinelli. So for me, Martinelli. If you go Trossard though, I'm not mad at it either. Still,
Yeah, I'm thinking about the same thing. I'm thinking about Trossard. Honestly, I'm on. For me, I've been just like you. I've been the same guy saying play Martinelli. Martinelli keeps playing that pace. That pace is gonna be so much for us. And I would like to see it with Thomas Partey back in the lineup because I feel like that's the biggest slight to Martinelli. He didn't
yeah,
get to play too much with Thomas Partey this season, and I think that's probably affected a lot of his season. So I'm not holding him against that.
yeah,
Hopefully next season we can see that, but I'd say in starting man that's been bagging. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It hurt me inside to know that we start Martinelli, he doesn't play good, then you have to make that change, and then who knows, little too late. I'd rather start the team that's gunning, start the team that's informed, that's hot, that's ready. Get the 3 points, probably kill the game. Trossard, I know if the chance falls to him, he's probably going to take it. And
100%.
let's just quiet that Spurs crowd and get our foot a hold in that game. Because touching on the Liverpool result, Liverpool currently are tied 2-2 right now. So their
Oh, is
title,
it? I
yeah,
didn't even know the results.
yeah, the title hopes are probably really gone right now.
Damn.
Title hopes are really slipping away right now. Taking off a center back to play on the midfielder. Yeah, they're going for it right now, but it looks like the title hopes are done.
Damn.
But touching back on Arsenal, um, I saw that Liverpool game and I saw that Everton result and how that derby went. That game was very physical, very scrappy. A Sean Dyche masterclass literally on Jurgen Klopp team. Now I don't think Ange Postecoglou is that, but with the energy, with the derby pushing them, Tottenham could do a result. And it's not like
Mm.
Tottenham haven't won there against Arsenal in recent years.
Yeah,
In that year we were going for top four. They got a result.
yeah.
What are your feelings going? Like you already talked about, you're confident going into the game, but if the game is level or if the game is tight, how are you going to be feeling? Are you still confident in this team? And what would that do to our title hopes if we don't get 3 points here?
Okay, so to answer your first question, if it's 0-0 halftime or 50 minutes, it's a back and forth game, I would still be confident in the team because especially we're playing our strongest XI. I feel like the one thing that gives me or at least a bit of calmness is our defense. Like we're not like unless we're given stupid mistakes or stupid errors, I don't see us just defending badly or teams exploiting a certain weakness in our defense. And it's so I'm more confident in that. But if we look like we're not trying to score or our shooting beats aren't on, then I'll be a bit worried because I'm like, oh, if you look devoid of, really making any chances. But I don't see that happening against this team.
Hmm.
But second question, if you don't win this game, I think the title's done. I don't think City are going to win every game. I don't see them losing the game.
Hmm.
And because I don't see them losing the game, we can't afford to drop points when we're already um, 2 points
2 points
behind,
behind them,
basically.
essentially. Yeah,
Yeah.
two.
So even like, if okay, even if you do draw and then we're 3 points behind them, I don't see them losing the game. I can see them drawing a game, and obviously being 2 points behind them, they draw a game. If we win all our games, then we're there. So I feel like we have to go into the mentality that every game is the last game of the season, and we have to win.
Hmm.
But then I hope we use that to make us feel like we need to kill the game early in the game, not like let it be an open game for long. So how about you? What do you think?
I agree. To touch on the first point I made, I think Arsenal have to avoid making this a basketball match because I've watched a little bit of Spurs and Spurs do concede goals, especially even at their home ground. So I'm not doubting Arsenal wouldn't get chances in the game, and I've seen games where Tottenham shooting boots are off in the first half and they've had to get late goals to come back, especially at home against the lower sides. I think it's going to be a very tricky game, but if it's 0-0, as long as the boys keep their composure, keep playing their football, I'm always confident. As long as we don't give away anything, as long as we're playing our best 11, like you said, I'm confident that we're always going to get 3 points against most teams in the Premier League. If I'm being quite honest,
Yeah.
and if we don't win, I also agree with you. I think Man City in the form they're in, especially going out of Europe, looking to put some shine to their season. Guardiola obviously always wants to win trophies. He's going to be going hard for it, and you can see the mentality they're in. You can see the form we're in. We have to match them pound for pound.
We have to win this game, man. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not even talking about like, and I'm confident. I'm never saying it like, oh, but I want like, I want to speak this into existence. Like, we have to win this game,
Nah, yeah,
like
I
because I
agree.
feel like it's not like like if example if this was like if Tottenham played like Everton and Sean Dyche was their manager, then I might be a bit more
Oh yeah,
reserved because I
that,
know it's gonna be hard. They're gonna play long balls, like pause. They're gonna do physical stuff. They're gonna but like Tottenham don't. They literally give
yeah,
you a high. Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking at it, I'm like, if we're just normal, but then we even say, we're gonna take a bit more risk and play vertically or play a ball in behind. I don't see. Or if you score early, that's all I say. If we score early, I think we might wipe them. That's
it
all I'm
could
gonna
be.
say.
It could because
I,
we've seen Ange even in games where get the Chelsea game where they get they're down to 9 men, they still don't sit back. They still play the high line and they'll still do that. So I agree with you. I don't see Tottenham sitting back. I see Tottenham, if anything, amplifying their press. I
yeah,
just think Arsenal need to be wary. This is why I would also say no Zinchenko in the team because we've
yeah,
seen
yeah,
him
yeah. No.
give away the ball in stupid areas and we cannot afford
Can't
that.
afford to do that, giving these guys the chance to counter attack us. And
And I know that I touch on that quickly. Does any of these Spurs players not scare you, but what Spurs players pose a massive threat for you for this game?
obviously, I feel like Van der Ven's quality defender, and he's lightning quick. So
Mhm.
even me talking about playing this, that's why I was even talking about playing
Oh,
someone like
that
that
is true too. That is true.
because it's like if you don't have that threatening pace, he always had the recovery. But him, Madison, obviously, he's not really been playing well since he's come back from his injury. But he is James Madison. He's got immense quality, and he likes to play direct, play the ball forward, play runners. So we got to be wary of him. Obviously, a derby game, so he might be really up for it.
Mhm.
And Son, obviously, he's played in a lot of these derbies. So it will probably the most out of any player in both sides, anyways, that's played North London derbies, and he scored a lot of goals. So um, he's gonna be up for it like, as well. More, will probably be the most up for it. I'm pretty sure he's Tottenham's captain, right?
Yeah, he is Tottenham
Yeah.
captain.
So if your most experienced guy in these type of games is your captain, and they're going against us, going against the league, I'm pretty sure he's gonna motivate them. If not Ange, if Ange's not the one to tell them, oh, it's a big game, he's gonna be able to tell them, hey, we don't like these guys. Do you
Mhm.
know what I mean? So I have to be wary of those guys, but I believe we have the players to nullify them also.
I
How about
agree.
yourself?
Um, Honestly, it's really the wings, and depending on what fullbacks we play, I'd say probably the Brennan Johnson guy. You already touched on Son. You already touched on that. I think Brennan Johnson is a very good player, especially in recent weeks. He's been showing that he can step up for Spurs. I know a Spurs fan or two, so and they always rave about Brennan Johnson and improving. He even had this debate with me about him and Martinelli. I told him he can't chat to Martinelli just yet,
Nah,
but I can see him as a player getting to that level. I wouldn't rule it out, but
I don't know, but
he's a
that's
threatening
that's
player.
just
But that's the debate for another time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, well, not really any players stand up to me. I would say the Van de Ven because of his pace, and he's a very physically strong, imposing defender, and we don't have that. We don't really have that up top with that pace in behind, and we've seen sometimes Havertz could get marked out of a game with that high line with
Yeah,
Costa at Villa. We've seen that before, so I do agree with you with your Martinelli show, but I feel like if, like we said, if we have more control of that midfield, we're able to get on to Spurs a bit more. We'll have our chances. We'll get our goals, and especially
yeah.
I agree. If we score first, I think it could be
What's
a game that's open for us.
what's your
Um,
prediction?
that's what I was about to say. Score predictions. You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
You go first. Your channel, you go and set.
I haven't thought about the score all week because for me, honestly, it's just 3 points. I just want 3 points. I haven't thought about the score all week.
How do you?
I do agree. I think it's going to be an open game. I think it's going to be a competitive game, but I think it's going to be a clean sheet. So I think Arsenal away from home have proven that they're able to mix up their game. They're not going to go hell for leather. And I think Arteta has proven a maturity over this year that he doesn't have to go hell for leather every single minute that we were last year. We've
Yeah.
gotten different versions to our game. We can sit back in moments and then get back the ball and hurt them.
Mm.
I'd say 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0. Okay. What did I say? I think I said 3-1. Only
Oh,
because I know like it's gonna be an open game.
yeah.
The penalty could be anything, and
True.
Spurs are an attacking team. I don't think they're gonna score. I don't think they're gonna score. Like I genuinely think. Okay, do you know what? 3-0. 3-0.
Ah, 3-0. I like that.
You know what? Like I don't,
3-0.
I respect them, but I respect our defense as well. And I feel
Mhm.
like we're gonna know the importance of winning. And I feel like if I think how I think the game's gonna go, where we're gonna score early and dominate. I feel like if we get 2 early goals, I don't see us conceding personally.
I,
So yeah,
I
you
agree.
know,
You think? No, you said 2 early goals. You think a goal, 2 goals in the first half, and then see out the game.
yeah. I think 2 goals in
Oh,
the first half, dominate the game a bit, and then maybe get another goal in in the second half. So third half, the second half, and
that would be the most brilliant day ever.
yeah.
I take that result over anything. Calm the nerves, settle the nerves, and that builds massive
Because
confidence.
for you, what your 2-0 is that 2 goals in the first half or 1 goal each half? Like,
I think
does
that's
that?
one. I'll go 1 goal each half.
Because that's I don't want that pressure of that 1 goal having
I
to
think it's
hold
probably
on.
gonna be. I think it's probably gonna be a late first half goal, like
Yeah,
against Wolves, and then we're probably gonna buy. I think it's probably gonna be a very similar game to against Wolves. We score probably late in the first half, and then
late in
probably
the second half.
midway through the second, somewhere around there, where Spurs are trying to push for it because they also have something to fight for in top four, so they have to go for it if they have anything about themselves.
You gotta win, man. But I think we'll win, man. Come on, you Gunners.
I agree. I agree. Yo, KP, big at yourself. Shout out your channel. Any links you want to leave down below, just say it real quick.
Yeah. KPAFC. That's KAPEAFC or KPAFC. Big Arsenal fan can subscribe to my channel to see my uploads, and we can do. Do you want to do a post game reaction on my channel?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Head over to KP's channel. I'll definitely be on there. Do a post match reaction on his channel.
Yeah.
Look at his preview on his channel as well. KP, big shout out to you, bro. Thank you for coming through on the channel. Thank you for all the love and support, bro.
Subscribe to this channel. Smash the like button.
Already,
Smash the
respect, brother,
subscribe button. Let's
respect.
go.
And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Thank you.